Did you ever have a month like this where you took 13 trades and you had this much amount of winners and you had this much amount of losers? And the result looked like that. But you walk away from the result and not try and fix the problem. If that has happened to you, where it turns out that things look like this, but you would like to turn them around and they look like this, things now suddenly look like that. Now suddenly you have this amount of winners and suddenly the losses are less. This is the video for you. So let me explain. First and foremost, what we are looking at is backtested data that is from January 2025, and I was trading S&P 500 in the same month, January, right? So what we're looking at is our screenshot datas from the same month, traded with the same system, but then with different approaches. So the first time I backtested January using the specific trading strategy, this was the result. But I didn't just walk away, right? I want to go back and show you guys that it is still the same month. It's January 2025. As you can see, what has changed is the balance there. I didn't just walk away, you know. I first had a month that is similar to like that. Those amount of trades, those amount of winners, those amount of losers, and then this is the risk reward ratio. So for each $1, $3 return, and if you multiply that by 6, you're gonna get 18, and then you multiply the losses by 1, you're gonna get 24. If you calculate how much you've made the whole month, that's the result. But how do you change this and then take it over to this in the same month, and you don't change your trading strategy? There is a simple thing that is adjusted, and then all of a sudden you go to a 50% win rate, this amount of winners, this amount of losers, risk reward ratio. When you multiply that and subtract the losses, you end up with this, and that's what, 14% more than this. Let's solve it. Let's get to it. First and foremost, the question you have to ask yourself is, what caused the losses? That's the first question I ask myself. The book of Proverbs does say that take away the impurity from the silver, then it will be ready for the silversmith, or the sterling will be ready for the silversmith. So what that means is that whenever you're looking at problems, you want to first identify what is the reoccurring problem and then remove it. So in my case, what were we looking at? What was the root cause for the stop losses? Let me give you one example. So I go to January, right? And these are the results. I now begin to list some of the things that I potentially think that they may be a cause for the losses. So the thinking is that, what are the actions that you do? For example, if you are farting a lot, farting as in farting poop, the first thing you want to ask is, what am I eating? Or what is causing the farting? Well, it's the food. Then what am I eating? And then you now realize, okay, I'm eating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I eat the most? I eat maybe beans a lot. So then you now start to check, beans the reason why I'm farting? If you then begin to investigate and you find out the answer is no, then you remove beans. What else do I eat? Eggs. Okay, so you now Google, do eggs cause people to fart? If the answer is yes, then you have found the root cause. You stop eating eggs and there will be less farting to do. So it's the same thing, that same approach I took into my trading. I first thought, what are the things that I do that bring out the result? I take a trade, I put a stop loss, I put a take profit, I have a trading system, risk management. So again, I listed one of the factors. Maybe was it a premature stop loss? How many trades did I take? Did I take profits? This amount of losses? How many were premature stop losses? How many continued into profit from these premature stop losses? And how many of them had a potential of being big winners? Then when you now put the numbers down, you start to realize that if I was to take stop loss direction, that's much better. I would have more winners. And as soon as I did that simple thing, it's from the same month. As you can see, it's from the same month. At some point, that was the result. But I want to just even go back and show you stuff. Maybe there are examples. Here's an example. This trade, you enter here, the market stops and continues like that. So the problem isn't the market, the problem isn't the trading system. The problem here is the approach in setting the stop loss. So once that was adjusted, then we begin to see, I'm going to close this and then I'm going to open another folder. So that's January 2025, right, with the original data. So here's the folder where I took the trades after I adjusted my stop loss specifically to what the market offers. So you will see that there's a screenshot 698. As I open this, it says screenshot 97, and go screenshot 98. Just that simple change caused the results to look like that. So again, if we look now, it's 4 winners, less losses, same risk to reward ratio. We didn't change that, just simply by adjusting the stop loss. See, now there is a difference. Hopefully you do spot the difference. We are now no longer being stopped out quickly. The market is traveling and then it does still reach the take profit, but it wasn't all totally solved. But just that little adjustment just turned things around, because from then I started saying that, okay, if I adjust my stop loss to what the market offers, what are the results? And then from a 23% month, I ended up having a January go to 46%. And just hopefully this video is just impactful in some way to whoever's gonna watch, that it doesn't take a lot to increase your win rate. It just takes the right questions. If the roof is leaking, the first thing to do is not to patch up the roof. The first thing to do is to ask, where's the water? What is causing the leaking? Well, the water. Okay, where is the water coming from? Now you go and investigate. And then now you think, what is the best thing to do to fix this permanently and ensure that it doesn't happen again? And then you find a solution then. So if the approach is, oh, it's leaking, just patch that spot up, it's gonna leak that side, it's gonna leak that side, it's not solving the problem, right? So similar, take it into trading. Well, what caused the most losses? Maybe it's trading Mondays for specifically somebody. Then go and check. Okay, go back and check all the Mondays and see, okay, Mondays are causing this much. Either decrease the risk to 0.00%, or don't trade Mondays at all. By not trading Mondays or whatever the case is, for me, my specific trading strategy, the other one is Tuesday, the other one is Thursday. I don't trade those days, and the profit just increases because there is less losses. Sometimes it's not about increasing your risk to reward ratio. Sometimes it's about removing things that cause you to lose. Soon you remove those things, it's just like having a heavy bag with rocks in the bag inside, and you are running, and you feel that the bag is heavy, it's heavy. The best thing to do wouldn't be to leave the bag at all costs and just leave the bag and then continue running. One of the best solutions would be to check what's in the bag first and foremost, and you find that there's rocks, then remove the rocks and carry on with the bag, because you might need the bag in the future. If you leave the bag, you have less storage, but if you remove the rocks, you have storage and you have lightness and you still have the bag. So hopefully it is helpful, and that's just my token of love, and hopefully it is a blessing to somebody. If you want to know about my own personal FTMO challenge progress, check out the other videos that I made. Those are personally about how I am progressing and how God is helping me in my trading. Simple as God has directed in the Bible. Remove quarrels and the fighting stops. Have you thought about it? Remove the quarrels and the fighting stops. Now you go on and you now investigate what causes quarrels. It is a person who's arguing a lot. If that person is removed from the place, there will be peace. Simple. Remove the devil then from the earth, there will be light. And what's going to happen in the future? The devil is going to be punished forever, and there'll be light. Only God and his likeness will exist, and nobody comes through God except through Jesus Christ. So that's the point and parcel, and God cares so much for our prosperity. He does want you and I to succeed in all that we do. But we have to obey God, and obeying God is only nice because it's not that hard. It is just doing what is just, it is also doing what is right. When you now receive your withdrawals, pay the people you owe. When you now receive your withdrawals, pay your tax. When you receive your withdrawals, give to the poor what you can give. And God will surely bless you greatly. So hopefully this video was a blessing to you. Till meet again next time. I love my wife. This is what I'm going to do to her, to you guys. Bye-bye. I like you.